YouTube, what is going on? Ben or Dunder here today, coming at you guys with a brand new video today. We've got some 2K, just playing some play now, some quick play, Raptors versus Cavs. We're gonna talk about something that is near and dear to my heart. I gotta switch teams really quick. We gotta talk about something that is near and dear to my heart. Yes, okay. Something that is near and dear to my heart. I'm going to turn this down a little bit so that I can hear myself. Well, Game 4 happened last night, and the Raptors got slapped a little bit. So, needless to say, it's time for some changes. In my opinion, it's time for some changes. So, what are the big issues that we have? Well, I've got some stuff written down, so I'm going to peek down occasionally and look at that. First of all, we need OG on LeBron. This is not how this should be happening. Ibaka should not be guarding LeBron, but whatever. We're going to roll with it.
Back to James, off the screen, and the
layup
is good.
Anyway, okay, so first things first. For lack of a better term, Ibaka's not good at basketball on the Toronto Raptors anymore. We can't keep him at least as a starter next year. He can't be starting for us next year. Other issues, they just don't trust Valanciunas enough to have him as like a main big man kind of thing. Oh my goodness. This is not starting well. Anyway, yeah, like I said, they just don't trust Valanciunas enough right now. It got a little bit better as the playoffs went on, but like they just sat him at key points in the fourth quarter for like half the playoffs. He played really well the last couple of games of the Raptors series, but it just, yeah, you could just tell they didn't completely trust him. The biggest issue that the Raptors have coming up is that 2018-2019, this upcoming season, pays too many bad players, or not necessarily bad players, but too many players that just don't fit what they're trying to do, or that they just need to move on from. They're paying them too much. Oh, that was a nice look. They're paying them too much money. That's going in. Yeah. Okay, they're paying them just too much money. So let's talk about some of that a little bit. Actually, first of all, there's one more big issue that they have, and DeMar just isn't good enough. He's not clutch enough to be the guy on this team. You know what I mean? Like some numbers here, he just doesn't fit, isn't clutch when he needs to be. Some numbers, game 3 in particular against the Cavs, which is the super close one. It's the bank shot one, I think. I'm pretty sure that's the bank shot one. I've kind of lost track of which game they got dominated in and stuff. LeBron's too good at that, man. Like, in real life, too. That's not just a 2K thing. He can do that. Like, he did that against Valanciunas, I think, in real life the other day.
Now, here's Lowry to the middle.
Yeah, that's a nice pick and roll. Move off that pick. Let's go, boy. Anyway, so what was I saying here? Right. Okay, game 3. DeMar did nothing. He played 28 minutes. He sat the entire fourth quarter. The guy had, I think, 8 points. Let me check here in a minute once I get the ball back. He had, okay, he was 3 for 12 with 8 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 blocks, 2 steals, but he had 3 personal fouls and 3 turnovers. So, not a huge fan of those numbers. Oh, get in there, OG. Okay, well, I'm not playing well this first bit, but in true Raptors fashion. I wonder if 2K is like, man, they're playing, oh, wait, Rodney Hood's getting up off the bench and not playing garbage minutes in the fourth? That should not be happening. That's not realistic.
It's stolen by Valanciunas.
Okay, give this to OG. Val, you shouldn't be handling the ball. Let's go, OG. Hit him this pick and roll really quick. Oh, yep. Oh, no, drive. Come on. Oh, that was brutal. Oh, that was brutal. Yeah, so like I was saying, DeMar he's not playing well. To illustrate this, or to talk about this a little bit more, The guy didn't make a single three-pointer in the entire series against Cleveland, and he's supposed to be the superstar two-guard on this team. First of all, you can't have a two-guard that can't hit the three ball. He didn't even take a three-pointer in the last two games of the in game 3 and 4, and he missed every single other one he took throughout the rest of the series. That can't happen. You can't have a two-guard period that can't hit the three ball. You can't call him a superstar two-guard, especially. So there's my issues there. The issues with cap space. Norman Powell doesn't play anymore. Like, he sits on the bench for most of the game, and he is making I don't have the exact number here. I have it later in my notes somewhere. He's making $9 million next year, $10 million, $10.8 million, and $11 million over the next 4 years. That's what he's making, which is ridiculous for someone that's sitting on the bench and not playing. He has to go. Now, on the bright side, he's still pretty young. He's 24 years old. So there's got to be a young team out there that's looking for, you know, a two-guard to, you know, I don't know, maybe like a Magic or someone like that. Maybe even a Dallas Mavs, maybe. Just looking for like a young, there he is right there actually. A young guy that is supposed to be a good three-point shooter that bricks everything. Yeah. Anyway, so he's making way too much money. Lucas Najera is restricted. If I can speak English, is a restricted free agent this offseason. And his what's it called? His qualifying offer is for $4 million.
And the Raptors miss again.
Yeah, so his qualifying offer is for $4 million. Sorry, I lost my train of thought there for a second. Get up there, CJ. Please guard him.
Dishes it to Hood. Kicks to Clarkson. From the baseline.
So, that's not too bad. I mean, he doesn't really play that much, especially with the setup we have right now where our fours play 5 all the time. And I'll hit that Siakam. Let's go. Nice shot. Good look. Tie game going into halftime, or going into the end of the first, second quarter, whatever. Oh, please don't hit that. Okay. Well, there we go. Okay, so, that. Najera is probably on his way out. Ibaka's making 21.67-ish million dollars next year. Valanciunas is making 16.5 million. DeMar is making 27.7. CJ Miles is making 28.3. And Van Vliet is not a cap issue, but he's a free agent next year. And look at that, he just got subbed in, and he's ready to bring the ball up. And I'll show you why we need to retain Van Vliet, because he's going to come up here, he's going to break Jose Calderon's ankles, he's going to smoke the three. Okay, maybe not. Well, boom, boom. But he can do that, though. He's a good passer. Okay, well, that's why CJ needs to go. Anyway, we have a lot of cap issues coming up. We're like, I have it in my notes as well somewhere. The cap next year is $109 million, and the luxury tax is, like the hard cap, if you will, is $130 million. So next year we have like a $27 million team salary total, like cap hit. I think, yeah, $127,576,032 cap hit. Oh my goodness, 6 seconds left on the clock. Hit this LeBron James fadeaway. Nope. Anyway, so like I was saying, I'm kind of sucking at this commentary. I apologize. It's hard to play semi-effectively and talk at the same time. I probably should have recorded the gameplay and then talked over it, but that's okay. I'll know that for next time. So yeah, so we have a lot of cap issues coming up here in the near future. That Norman Powell number was $9,367,200. So he's making way too much to sit on the bench. Basically, is what I'm trying to say here. So, that's a problem. So yeah, we have big cap issues for players that aren't working. That's basically what I want to talk about. So, if we shed Norman Powell's contract next year.
Both free throws good for Clarkson.
And DeRozan's contract, and Ibaka's. Now, I'll talk more about DeRozan later. Don't freak out about that yet. If we shed those two contracts,
the longest consecutive games played streaks in NBA history. He said, "The mind's a powerful thing, and if you tell your brain everything is all right, you'd be surprised on the stuff you can achieve."
Yeah, okay, there we go. That play didn't work. If we shed those two contracts, and Ibaka's, and Valanciunas's, and CJ Miles, we get our cap hit down to $43,929,531. Now, that's like a very Cleveland, we're going to trade our whole team away-esque kind of thing. But obviously it worked for them because we got swept. So, that frees us up for a lot of space with... Let me just pause this for a second. There's a lot of big names coming up in this free agency. Like, let me pull up the page here. Okay, free agents. Right, okay, so free agents this year. Kevin Durant, player option. LeBron James has a player option. Paul George has a player option. Chris Paul is unrestricted. DeMarcus Cousins is unrestricted. Clint Capella is restricted. DeAndre Jordan has a player option. Aaron Gordon's restricted. Julius Randle's restricted. Jabari Parker's restricted. Isaiah Thomas is unrestricted. Tyreke Evans is unrestricted. And then it kind of just moves into, like, I guess Melo, Zach LaVine, Nikola Mirotic, some of those players. Anyway, there's a lot of big names in this free agency. Do I think, like, the top three we have any chance of getting? Not really. I even talk about that later on in my notes. Okay, so we free up a lot of cap space. That's all I'm talking about there. What do we need to accomplish this offseason? We probably need to re-sign Van Vliet. That's going to be probably really important for the future of Cleveland and for any chance of winning next year and just any chance of retaining any sort of competitive ability. It's important to re-sign Van Vliet, in my opinion. We need to free up cap space. That's a big deal, as I just talked about. This guy's a stud. Kyle Lowry is probably the best player on the Raptors. Not even probably. He's the best player on the Raptors right now. We need defensive stoppers. If you take a look at this series against Cleveland, specifically the game last night, it wasn't even like... There were some early plays by George Hill where he just carried the ball from an inbounds, I think, all the way up the court. And it wasn't even like... They haven't played... This team has been together for a long time. Like, a long time this team's been together for. And they just, like, completely... No one picked him up. And it happened on, like, 3 back-to-back plays. He just, like, obliterated the rim on a dunk. It was painful to watch. I almost decided to stop watching at that point. I did not watch. I don't even think I got to halftime last night. It was that bad. I gotta start playing better 2K though. Okay, that was bad. That was everything about that was disgusting. Foul him. Oh, okay. Okay. Anyway, yeah, so we need defensive stoppers. We gotta get better at defense, man. Like, our offense isn't bad. We just can't play defense. Especially our starters, man. We got a lot of scorers. 1 through 5. And then OG, man, OG's a stud. OG's so good. He's gonna be so good. Like, he kind of reminds me a little bit of... I don't know who he reminds me of yet, but he reminds me of someone. He's just really good on defense. Kawhi. Let's say Kawhi. The guy can pass. He's a defensive stud. Like, for a rookie to guard LeBron how he did, that's pretty good, man. Like, the greatest player right now, the best player right now, arguably ever. I've had that debate many, many times with many people about LeBron versus MJ and stuff. I think this series alone kind of indicates how good he actually is. Oh, Kyle Lowry. That actually happened so many times. Kyle Lowry on... that's a bad shot. Oh my goodness. That was brutal. Okay, OG. Let's show him this defense I was talking about. Okay, or just pass it off. They like to switch too. The Raptors, like, they really like switching. Can someone please get Lucas Najera off the court? I don't know what happened there. Like, CPU, play better basketball. Anyway, where was I? Right, we need defensive players. We need to specifically bring someone in to stop the 3, like, the oversized 3. So, like, Ben Simmons and LeBron James and like those kinds of play. Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! Just dunk it, George Hill. Okay, well. Yeah, okay, anyway, we need to bring someone in specifically to stop that kind of player, because if LeBron stays in the East, which, honestly, at this point, I think he might just re-sign with Cleveland. I can't score a basket right now. I think he might re-sign with Cleveland. If not, we've still got Ben Simmons and Giannis out here, all very similar style players. We gotta bring in, like, a superstar stopper at 3. That's going to be like a big free agency or off-season trade goal. We got to bring someone in. So, free agents. Okay, yeah. So, what I think we have to do, we have to move at least 2 of 3 of Valanciunas, Ibaka, and DeRozan. We have to move one of them. Norman Powell has to go this offseason, and we have to renounce Najera's rights because that's $4 million that we can just free up for free agency. And because, let's be honest, we don't need him or really want him on our roster anymore. There we go, Kyle. Can it? Yeah, so those are what we have to do. Upcoming free agents, like I said, KD, LeBron, and Paul George. Probably not going to get any of them. KD, because he's probably going to just re-sign with Golden State. As much as the entire NBA wishes he wouldn't, he's going to re-sign with Golden State. Paul George is probably either going to stay in OKC or head to the Lakers. And LeBron is either going to stay in Cleveland or say the LeBronto Raptors. Yeah, no thanks. Oh, that was almost a really nice play if I had just passed it. Oh, I'll take it. I'll take that. Anyway, Chris Paul is unlikely, but we have to see how things play out in the playoffs this year. He's probably just going to sign up again, and either way, we probably don't want him. That's kind of my thought. So, who should we target this offseason? I think that we should make a serious run at DeMarcus Cousins or DeAndre Jordan. I think probably not and. Oh my goodness. Yeah, we should make a serious run at DeAndre Jordan or DeMarcus Cousins. Those would be like huge pickups, especially DeMarcus Cousins. Oh my goodness. So if we go back to some of those numbers, so this season, DeAndre Jordan made just over $18 million. He is coming off an Achilles tear, so that will potentially diminish his market value. However, you have teams like the Trailblazers and teams like that who could potentially be more attractive. The Pelicans definitely aren't going to try and re-sign him, I don't think. I think they realized that they need to pursue other players and other positions because they just beat Golden State. They didn't beat them, but they took games off of them without him, and have been competitive for most of the series. And they dominated the Blazers and that kind of stuff. They don't bring him back. He'll cost too much for them to just have 2 of the same player basically. So that's that. DeAndre Jordan last year made $22.6 million. He's on a player option, although everyone knows he's not going to stay with the Clippers. Lob City is done. DeAndre is done in LA. Another interesting one would be Tyreke Evans. He made just under $3.3 million. He was 19-5-5 on the season. That's pretty good for a guy making just over $3 million. He would be a huge pickup, especially if we end up sending DeMar somewhere, which I'll talk about later on. I know, don't freak out yet. You'll be happy with my plan. So he would be a huge pickup. And Avery Bradley as well. He'd be a bit more expensive, but he'd be right around Norman Powell money, making $8.8 million, and he's a prototypical 3-and-D player. He'd be huge off the bench for them, even as a starter at the 2. Because we need defense, as I've talked about. Other potential interesting, if I could speak English, other potential interesting ideas. A sign-and-trade with the Spurs for Danny Green, sign-and-trade with the Spurs for Rudy Gay, pursuing Rodney Hood because he basically hasn't played. As I talked about earlier, he plays garbage minutes right now for the Cavs. Isaiah Thomas is a free agent too, and he could potentially be a really cheap pickup, especially if we can't don't end up keeping wow, OG really can't shoot 3 in 2K, huh? They really did him dirty. Yeah, especially if we can't keep Fred VanVleet. He'd be a huge pickup and potentially very cheap. So that could be an interesting pickup. And also Jabari Parker has been plagued with injuries. I don't know if he's going to stay in Milwaukee. I think his open market value, he may see himself as more valuable. And if we don't end up keeping Ibaka, he could be an interesting pickup there. So there's that. Okay. So that's what, but those 4 players, Cousins, Jordan, Tyreke Evans, Avery Bradley, I think should be big targets for us, assuming that all of the really big name free agents can't or don't end up going anywhere. I think Tyreke Evans is going to ask for a lot more money. Let me clarify that, because he balled out this year. Next page. Okay, so here's where things get interesting. So, earlier on, I've been kind of teasing this DeMar DeRozan trade and sign and trade deals, and we need a defensive stopper at the 3. So let's think for a second here. Who in the NBA is currently a disgruntled 3 who doesn't really like the team he's on, doesn't really want to be there anymore, and is just an unreal defensive stopper? Think about this for a second. If you're thinking about Paul George, you're wrong. If you're thinking about anyone whose name is not Kawhi Leonard, you're probably wrong. As in, you are very wrong if you're not thinking about Kawhi. So, here's my thought. Raptors are full of young players, some of which they're trying to get rid of. Like, they would love to get rid of, I think, at this point. I.e. Valanciunas, Ibaka's, that kind of idea. They have a lot of pieces of a winning team, but they're a little bit too old. Kawhi wants out. I think a Danny Green, so have them re-sign Danny Green. I don't know how the money works out and that kind of stuff. Like, I didn't take the time to think about that because I kind of threw this, oh my goodness, Kyle Lowry, what are you doing? I kind of threw this video together on a whim this morning because I was like, what could the Raptors do? I've been kind of talking about this with some people once I knew that they were probably not going to make it through this series and it was going to be embarrassingly bad. What can the Raptors do this offseason to become competitive? Because, like, here's the thing, is they're young enough that they don't have to rebuild per se. They just have to get better pieces. And pieces that can do better things. You know what I mean? Like, they don't have that many. They have 2 players over the age of 30, and they're CJ Miles and Kyle Lowry. So obviously Kyle Lowry's staying. That's, like, the guy's a stud. He's not going anywhere. Unless someone's like, hey, we'll give you, like, Klay Thompson or someone like that, which would never happen. But, yeah, no, they're keeping Kyle Lowry. So, if they can do, like, a sign and trade, like, DeMar. Okay, here's an idea. So Rudy Gay and Danny Green both re-signed. Those are 2, like, Danny Green, great 3-and-D player. Danny Green, great 3-and-D player. Rudy Gay is finally playing defense now. There we go. Finally playing defense now. So I think if you did if they re-signed Danny Green and sent maybe even Patty Mills, honestly, maybe even Pat Mills, and they did like DeMar, DeMar and Valanciunas. Okay, you know what would be wild? You know what would be absolutely insane? Just some like super deal for DeMar. Oh, that's a bad shot. Okay, listen to this. Just hear me out. This would never happen. But DeMar, Ibaka, Norman Powell, and Valanciunas for Kawhi, Oh my goodness, what's his name?
And too long on the shot.
LaMarcus Aldridge, Danny Green, and Rudy Gay. How ridiculous would that be? Like, how ridiculous would that be? That would never, probably never happen, but yeah, that's my thoughts. Honestly, I would love to see the Raptors come out of this offseason with DeMarcus Cousins and Kawhi. I think DeAndre and Kawhi would still be a successful offseason, though. I think DeAndre, you have a better chance at, especially if you don't have Valanciunas on the roster anymore. Okay, we gotta win this game now. Wow, that was brutal. Oh my goodness, Pascal, that's your second loose ball over the back, rebounding foul. Stop. Yeah, I've been kind of all over the place this video. I try to do it in some sort of methodical way. Some way that makes sense in order. So that's kind of what we're working at right now with the Raptors. That's kind of what I think. Like, I think we need to go all in on Kawhi, on the Kawhi sweepstakes. We basically need to do what Boston did. We need to bring in a big free agent at a spot that we're weak at, and go and get the big name disgruntled player who wants to be somewhere else. Because I think Kawhi comes in and he changes the culture of the Raptors. In my opinion, that's what happens. And I think Cousins might not be the best option the more that I think about it, just because of, like, he's good and he's calmed down over the past couple of years, but yeah, I don't know. I think that's kind of what we're looking at right now. We got to get better on defense. That's the big thing I'm saying. Honestly, even, like, I forgot to look up the numbers of how much he's making, but I think bringing in Andre Roberson for Norman Powell would also be huge, because let's be honest, Norman Powell isn't going to see the court, and Roberson's a stud on defense. Can't play offense to save his life, but at this point we just need defense. So yeah, we just need better defenders right now. So I think that would be a big pickup as well. So yeah, those are kind of the things that I wanted to talk about in this video. I think we're going into the fourth right now. I've been kind of on autopilot on the game, only half paying attention, half trying. Because it's hard to talk about this kind of stuff and have notes and whatnot. Oh yeah, Kawhi's only making $20 million next year, so that's like even more doable. And it makes the money thing a little bit interesting with matching player salaries, because I don't totally know how that works. That's why I didn't really want to try and talk about it in this video. But for now, let's just try and win this game. Oh, I thought that was a block. Okay, let's try and win this game now. We got DeLon. Here we go. Let's go, DeLon. He's a stud, too. Like, was it 2K16, I think? That I was like, man, I really like DeLon, right? I think so. I was playing with him in, like, the Summer League or whatever in a Raptors franchise mode thing. We got to get Jakob off the court right now if he's going to be on LeBron.
And they're getting their points now almost exclusively.
Give me OG. Give me OG on LeBron. It's lockdown time.
From beyond the arc.
We also got to get better at, like, more consistent three-point shooting out of players that should be better at three-point shooting. Or positions that should be better at three-point shooting. Oh my goodness, please just catch the ball. Oh my goodness, please just hit a shot. Oh my goodness. Thank you, and one. Let's go. He's too big. He's too strong. He actually played, like, really well down the line in this series, like down the road. Honestly, I'd be okay with keeping Valanciunas, but I think it makes the money thing. He's like, of all the people that I'm like, we need to get rid of him because he's not playing up to what he's being paid. He's probably not one of the ones, but for the players that are available this offseason, unless we were to go... Did I forget to say Aaron Gordon? I think so. Aaron Gordon's a free agent as well this offseason. He could be interesting if we end up keeping Valanciunas and we need a 4 instead of a 5. Like, that could be interesting. So if, like, we... Honestly, Aaron Gordon or Jabari Parker, if we end up keeping Valanciunas, I'd be okay with both of them because neither would be oh my goodness, LeBron. Neither would be super expensive. I don't know. We'll see though. Knowing the Raptors, they're probably just gonna keep the team they have and just keep like pounding their head into the playoffs, hoping to have different results. They're going to get swept by the Cavs, who are probably going to get Michael Porter Jr. Oh my goodness, I hadn't even thought of trading for draft picks.
Another one for the Cavaliers.
Okay, so here's the question. Do the Raptors say, this team is a bust, trade for the future, like get out of a win-now mindset? Because how old is Kawhi? Give me a second. Hold on. Kawhi Leonard. How old is Kawhi? 91. Kawhi is like 28, 29, I think. I don't know. I'll look it up later. I'll look it up here in a minute. Oh my goodness, that's going to be a turnover. That's going to be 3 and... Yeah. Oh, get out of the key, thank you. Okay, here we go. No, Kawhi Leonard, back. Salary. He's 26. Okay, my math sucks. So Kawhi's 26 right now. And so yeah, okay, never mind. I'd be okay with Kawhi, I guess. I'd be okay with Kawhi. But like, you could also just rebuild for the future. I think trying to keep enough pieces that you could get like honestly, if you got RJ Barrett in the draft next year, the North, like this whole We the North thing would go to a whole new level. Like bring in the Canadian kid that's gonna be a superstar in this league. Definitely a #1 pick. Oh my goodness, that was almost the bad thing. And one. Okay, yeah, I think that'd be cool. That'd actually be really cool. I hadn't even thought of trading for picks. Honestly, even trading up a little bit and getting like a Trae Young, but then again, you really don't need Trae Youngs. I don't know. Yeah, you could do draft picks. Maybe I'll do another video that could talk about like players that they could trade for draft picks and stuff. Because that's the thing, like they're young enough that they could trade players for draft picks, and teams would be like happy with that. You know what I mean? Like they wouldn't have to give up oh my goodness. They wouldn't have to give up too much for them. They might not even have to give up their own draft picks, you know what I mean? Anyway, I'm done talking about this. Let's win this game. Why is OG not on LeBron again? I probably just shouldn't have started at Ibaka and Valanciunas. We're down by 6. We're not making enough baskets. Excuse me, I am burping a lot right now. I don't know why. Off screen. Roll. Thank you. Oh my goodness, please go in. I would have lost my mind. That would have been like that would have been the most Toronto Raptors thing that's ever happened in this game. Oh, get that turnover. Get that turnover. Oh my goodness. How are you not going to win that?
He feeds it to LeBron.
Yeah, that's a bucket. Oh my goodness, let's go. I will take it. Okay, here we go. DeMar, earn your title of being good at basketball. You know what? No, don't do that. Don't do that. No, not that. Okay, there we go. ISO. Give him the ISO. Let's go, JR. Time to get cooked. Ah, let's go. Oh my goodness, we dunked on LeBron too. This game is over. Here we go. We the North, baby. We the North. Oh yeah, that's okay. One more thing before I dominate the rest of this game. The whole We the North thing that they've tried to build is gonna die so fast if they don't make some changes this offseason. Like people are, especially I feel bad. Ibaka used to be so good, but especially Ibaka, like people are mad. People are gonna be mad if Ibaka's still in the starting lineup. Oh my goodness, please drop. People are gonna be mad if Ibaka's still in the starting lineup next year, and they're gonna lose a lot of the progress and a lot of the rebuilding of the fan base and the rebranding. Not rebranding, but like I guess yeah, you could say rebranding. Like a lot of this work that they've done to rebuild the image of the Raptors and basketball in Canada in general. So I think for that reason alone, forget being competitive, they just have to make some changes. They're just gonna make some changes and add some hope back into basketball in Toronto. Because yeah, like we've proved that
36 seconds left in the fourth.
Oh my goodness, that was almost dangerous.
Just
Oh, this
five on
game's
the
like
clock.
really
Here's
late
James.
and really
It's
close.
in.
Oh, that
And he's
sucks.
just putting the team
Okay,
on
quick
his
bucket, quick
back
bucket. Here we go.
when he's needed most.
Here we go, here we go.
Don't you just
Kyle Lowry
love to
3.
see that
Can
confidence
it?
when taking these
Oh
big
my goodness, please go
shots?
in.
And again,
That's it.
Toronto,
It's
no
over.
longer.
It's
And even with his range,
over.
that one might be asking a little too much.
Yeah, that zip code might extend
man.
beyond his range.
Well, that
My
sucks.
goodness,
Oh, that
let's
should have
take
been a
better shot
steal.
next time.
And now they decide to foul intentionally.
Just foul him over and over and over again. It's the only way you can beat the Cavs, right, Toronto? This series made me so mad. They shouldn't have gotten swept by this team.
He doesn't hit the first, and that was the one
Anyway.
they really wanted. He's got one more, though.
And Smith
Oh my
needs
goodness,
to
that's
continue
huge.
to work on
That's
improving
huge.
his shot from
Huge,
the free
huge,
throw
huge,
line.
huge,
Hill,
huge.
he's
Go
checked
in.
for the
Oh
Cavaliers.
my goodness! This is
And
the most
there's the intentional foul. No
Raptors
choice
against the
but to stop
Cavs
the
thing
clock
I've ever
here.
seen. That was wide open, good release, and it still didn't
And
go
that
in.
hurts
How
as
does
he
that even
doesn't get the first one
happen?
to fall. Trying to focus now on the seconds.
We know that LeBron
Okay,
has always been
well-
a good foul shooter. Not a great one, but a good one.
Anyway, guys,
And the Raptors call
if
time
you're new,
here.
hit the subscribe button. If you enjoyed this video, drop a like down below. If you have any questions or comments about what we talked about in this video, whether you think it makes any sense, whether you think
Yeah,
that it's a good idea, whether you think it's a bad idea, what you think the Raptors should be doing this offseason. Yeah, whatever, Jordan player of the game, LeBron James. Just, yeah, let me know what you guys think.
He's made everyone else
down
on the court
below.
look like they're playing at half speed. It's
we'll,
been total domination, and you can't help but just sit back
Oh, we had the
and
ball?
admire
What?
that performance.
Oh, we called the timeout.
Wow, stepping up in critical moments. Jonas Valanciunas late in the ball game, not shying away from the pressure.
Foul
And
him.
they stop the clock as soon as they can with the intentional foul.
George Hill, can he hit the free throws?
He hits
Yeah.
the first one, and that gives them a 4-point cushion.
That's the ball game, ladies and gentlemen. I didn't even realize we called the timeout, to be honest.
And so he drops the ball.
I got too busy talking about it. Anyway, if you guys want to see more of these kinds of videos, just talking about stuff while playing, whatever. If you guys want to see more basketball-related stuff, let me know as well. Anyway, that's going to do it for today's video. If you all enjoyed, like I said, drop a like down below. If you're new, subscribe. And as always, this has been your boy Dunder. And this
obviously, look,
basketball
they
game
wanna finish the
is
game
over.
strong, but right now, look at the frustration on their faces.
Okay, well, not quite yet. There is still some foul shots to go. That's going to miss. No, we're good. We're
They're on
good.
the first, and that shrinks the margin to just 4.
Well, let's remember, Serge
let's
Ibaka
go.
is a defensive presence. This guy in
Wait, who
elite
called a
shot
timeout?
blocker
Oh, we
early
must
in his
have.
career, and he is now a capable scorer from just about anywhere.
Timeout called. Cleveland.
Wait, Cleveland called the
They're
timeout.
leading
Okay.
by 3.
Oh, they want the inbounds
Just
play
2
and stuff.
seconds left here in
Yeah,
the
this
fourth
game
quarter.
is over.
And
Yeah.
so it's Cleveland
Anyway, that's gonna do
comes
it for
out
this
on
video,
top.
guys. Drop a like down below. If you're new, subscribe. I'll see y'all later. Oh, by the way, don't forget, I've also been streaming a lot lately, so make sure you check out the stream and stuff. It's lots of good fun.
And now let's catch
Peace.
up with David Aldridge.